Big one, big one. Yep. Yeah. I wasn't gonna leave like. Yes! One more. Come on. Yes. Spot. Hello y'all, so we are here today and gonna train some hamstrings. Alright, so last week we did a video on GASP, but if you've been kind of keeping up to date with us and watching all of our training videos, we had a really good hamstring video with the official World 2 GASP YouTube page there. So today we're gonna do our second one in Q. So we kind of go back and forth each week with our hamstring training sessions, and this will be our second one. So different exercises from last week, varying them. Still, setting it up with the exercise selection here. We'll explain as we go, but hitting it hard with the curls first, going into some kind of stretch with some type of leg press, and it's going to be a new one today. So we've never shown this one, along with, and then finishing with some kind of stretch with RDL, and always getting our adductors in. Officially 3 weeks out from this Saturday for myself. I am heading to Orlando Thursday, so in 2 days, so to see Ivana compete, be a part of that whole expo down there. There's gonna be a lot of people there, so we're really excited to get down there. I'm gonna train with my coach on Friday, and I think that one will I'm gonna meet up with the videographer from GASP, so we're gonna get a really good quad day on GASP here coming up, just me and my coach. Probably get a few check-ins there with him. So if you're kind of following along, I know a lot of you are. Again, appreciate everybody coming up saying they love the content. I've been seeing the feedback from our last video. We did a back day, released it yesterday. So we are going to do the shirts. We've had comments in there, want to see the Monsters or Monstars shirts.
Yeah.
Me and him are really brainstorming. He's doing a really good job. He's already got his done. So I just need to come up with an idea. So if you all have a good idea of a monster version for me, drop it in the comments below, and we'll kind of run with that. Marty, kind of let them know what's up today and kind of what's up with you, and let them know that you're getting tan as well.
yeah. All right, guys. So like Brett said, hamstrings as always. The hamstrings pretty much 100%. If you've been following along, had that little injury in the RDLs. Pretty much back to 100%. I'd say the only thing that's not back to 100% is strength, but that's an easy fix. We could just add a little bit of volume to that. So no big deal there. Everything's clicking and moving in the right direction. So I'm 6 weeks out now from Saturday, as Brett said. We're just kind of rolling and clicking. Everything's a couple weeks behind Brett, but about the same as far as what the plan is. Push conditioning, show up and be the most peeled guy on stage, and let our hard work do the talking for ourselves. As Brett said, I'm doing a little bit of tanning, so I won't be the whitest guy on the planet anymore. Maybe the discrepancy between the two of us won't be so crazy anymore.
It's because we were watching that back video last night, and the one that got released, and I was just like, man, why does it look like I have so much more detail in you? And like, I know you have crazy detail. It's just like, you're just so white, it just blurs it all out. So yeah, you'll be seeing a new Marty these next couple weeks. You'll be getting the tan Marty leading into the stage. So the reason for that, just to explain that there, we don't technically need the tan, but what it's going to do, it's going to help his base color come show day. So for you competitors out there, you think, oh, I'm just going to throw a tan on, the day before the show anyway. No, it's about setting up, you need to be able to set up your base. We were talking about how Jay Cutler would tan every single day for about, what, 6 weeks out? Yep. And then he would even put on the,
he put on the bronzer, for a week out every single night. He'd have his wife put it on and wash it off just to help stain his skin, guys. So this is something that's very important, and it's something that I haven't taken as seriously in the past, and it's something that I know I need to do a better job of. Protan has been a sponsor of mine, and they've taken good care of me, but something that kind of causes some sweating on stage is having to get lots of layers of tan. So me being so white, I've ended up having to get 4 or 5 layers of tan, and I think that's affected some of the sweating purposes on stage, and I don't want to have to do that this year. So I'd like to be dark enough, maybe 1-2 coats is all I need, and I think that that makes a huge difference for a lot of bodybuilders to have these perfect tans on stage, and you don't win a pro show without having a perfect tan.
Yep, so we can talk more about details, you know, especially because we're gonna have Zach here with us out in Atlanta, so during, you know, leading up to my show and then also in Marty's show. So it's gonna be really cool to bring you all behind the scenes of you know, game day, what leads up to that, you know, the load up process, the, you know, drying out process, and we'll show you all that and talk about that more in depth. But today is more focused on us just fucking beating some ass here and about to kill some hamstrings. So let's go kill some hamstrings, then relocate, talk some more, and let's kill it. So touching on, you know, starting here, done this a lot in the past, so we're just gonna make one quick clip of what we're doing here. So just calves to start, our normal standing calf machine today. Main thing I want to reiterate, especially because we've got a lot of new followers lately, is the importance of a full flexion and full extension on calves. So see how he's going all the way up, holding for a second, and he's going all the way down, holding for a second. So I can't reiterate enough the importance of full range of motion for calf development and growth. You know, it's something we both learned. You can't just pump them out, throw a bunch of weight on there, and you move weight. Calves are very important that you get the full flexion, the full extension. So remember that, all the way up, squeeze, all the way down, stretch. And throw variations in there, throw different machines, but the basics are always the same. Full extension, full flexion, grow.
So hamstring movement number 1, seated leg curls. It's a very isolated movement, something to get the hamstrings fired up, warmed up. So a couple key pointers here. As you see, breast pointing his toes up, dorsiflexing. What that does is it actually helps keep it in the hamstring versus the glute. Also, you can see here he's pushing with his hands, pushing his hips back into the seat. That's also helping keep the glutes out of it, making sure it's hamstring only. And then the last thing here, guys, is something to focus on is curling like a bicep curl versus a lot of people try to swing the leg. Really try to focus on pushing the knee into the pad and curling it like a bicep, only letting that hamstring work.
Up. Come on. Up. 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 Here we go. Up. Now we're in it. Up. Good. Up. Yes. Up. Yes. One more. Up. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Ah. Ooh. One more. Damn. Off our first hamstring exercise here. We just did the top set on the seated leg curl. Now we're going to do a rest pause. I'm sure we've done this before, but there's nothing better you can do on a seated leg curl than finish it with a rest pause. What you do is just lock yourself in there, and you don't get out until you're completely finished. So probably going to hit 10, rest for 15, hit failure, rest for 15 seconds, hit failure again, okay? So leave nothing left in the tank. Martin's gonna help me with the last couple reps as well, just to really get the full squeeze. When you get out of there, you should be crawling out of the machine. These are the sets we talked about right here.
Good. Yes. Yep.
Yep. You got it.
Three, two, one.
Yep.
Good. Come on. Yeah.
Three. All we got. Let's go. Two. Come on. Yep.
Yes. Yes. Stretch him out. All the way. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Come on. Hey.
Okay, so next hamstring movement, we're going into our next curl here. So we're just doing a, machine lion leg curl. Really like this one from Star Trek. It just sets you up perfectly here. But everyone has a lion leg curl. What you will notice though, is what I want to touch on, is we get so pumped up from like our first exercise. I mean, you should be absolutely killing it. That it's hard to reach all the way to the top on our lion leg curl right away. So what I'm doing here is, this is when the partner assistance helps a lot, or just having a partner in general. I'm letting him go as high as he can. He's curling as hard as he can, as high as he can. And then when he reaches a plateau, or when he reaches a stopping point, because of, honestly, just from pump and swelling in the muscle, I'm gonna assist probably just that extra ½ inch to an inch at the very top. The reason for this is just to get an absolute crazy squeeze and contraction at the top. I'm just, just like I said, just a little push to the feet at the top on the very top portion of the lift. And you can just feel that contraction like crazy. We recently just started doing this, because I was like, let's just help me a little bit at the top. And ever since we started, it's been pretty brutal because, like I said, I'd rather get the full range of motion than just kind of going heavy and just getting that 3/4 the way up. So we're going all the way to the top with a little bit of partner assistance, squeeze as hard as you can top, and then we'll do something crazy here at the end for a back off, drop off set.
All right, guys, so one little pointer here. A lot of times people get their glutes really involved in the leg curl. So as you can see, Brett and I are really focused on keeping it in the hamstring. That's part of the reason that we're pushing at the top, is to keep the glute from activating but still getting the hamstring to curl full contraction. One thing you can do to keep the glutes from activating is actually slide your hips back from where they would be on the pad about 2 or 3 inches. So where your belly button would normally be here, slide it back 2 or 3 inches. What that's gonna do is keep you from being able to activate your glutes and keep it all in the hamstring. The curl might not feel like you're coming all the way to the top, but the hamstring is getting a full contraction.
All right, so in a nasty finisher here on the lion leg curl. How this works is he's gonna do 10 to 12 reps of like pre-exhaustion, so nothing too crazy on weight. He's just gonna hit 10 to 12. And then he's gonna go super heavy on the weight. So just reach down and hit the pin. So much weight that he can't get it up on his own. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna help him with the concentric portion, so push it up, and he's just gonna fight the weight down. So he's gonna control negative, like 2 to 3 seconds down, holding that stretch, and I help him back up. He controls it down, help him back up. He controls it down, so do as many as he can there. Then he's gonna go back to that original weight, the lighter weight, and then just hit pumps from there. So pre-exhaust into 12, controlled negatives with a heavy weight, and then pump to finish it off. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, up. 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 Up more. Up. Good, Bob. Here you go, Fitz. Brutal. 2. Yep. Ready, 1. Up. 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 Let me go all the way down. Yep. Yep. That's good. Pump them up. So what we're moving on to here, I kind of just put these in the last 3 to 4 weeks, you know, as we're getting closer to the show, more detail-oriented work that we talk about. So this is a variation of like a glute ham raise. I'm using this rogue piece of equipment here. The main thing is we're using this stick just because we're so big that like we would probably just end up falling forward. We can't do them without it, tear a hamstring, something like that. So it's more of just like a safety net. The purpose of it is we're still using our hamstrings to fire ourselves back up, and we're just using that stick as kind of a guide. What I try to do is take as much weight off as I can. It's kind of just there for a balancing aspect. But you can do this without a stick, like cross your hands, coming down, back up. Extremely tough. What we found with our body weight, we can't do that anymore, but we can use the stick to kind of guide us and just focus on that squeeze and that contraction through the hams. I feel a lot more on that upper portion, so that upper half. So really fire it through and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze at the top. So use this, you know, like I said, this is probably our last kind of curl variation. So we've already done, you know, seated, lying. Now throw this in here to really finish them off before we get into presses and some kind of a stretch there.
Little tip here, guys, is especially with the stick, is to really make sure that you're keeping constant tension in the hamstring. It's easy as you're coming down to want to let your body weight go to your hands and let your upper body control your weight as it comes down. Really try to let your hamstrings control the weight as you come down and just use the stick as a balancing guide. So as you can feel that, the main thing that you're going to want to feel as you come forward is like you're stopping yourself from coming forward. It's just not happening. Yep. Ah!
All right, so moving into our pressing movements here for hamstrings. So killed the curls and 3 different exercises there. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a superset here. So we're pairing these two. We're gonna do a single leg press here. So this on this, it's the, what is this? Rogers Pendulum squat press. What this does is it's extremely hamstring and quad focused. So it kind of goes into that movement. It always hits those anyway. So when you do single leg, you're always just gonna be focusing on hamstring and glute. I meant to say hamstring and glute focused. So this by itself kind of puts you in the right position. So we're actually gonna do single leg here to start. So right leg then left leg, then we immediately come over here to where Marty is, and we're doing a vertical leg press. So you've never seen us do this one. This is a vertical leg press. It's one of those things like you gotta make sure your hips are really warmed up. Now that we're a little bit lower on body fat and a little lighter weight, it's a little easier for us, and we don't have to worry as much about injury there. So great superset because you destroy them here with the single legs. You go right into a lot of weight just coming down on you and then pressing through. Main thing on here is to keep it glute and hamstring focused is we're going wide and high stance. So feet are wide and high. You're letting it control it through. Your hamstrings are the stretch, slowing it down. And almost like you're hyper-extending back through to push through your hamstrings and press the weight up. So give it a try. Come on, Marty. Good. Good. Yep. Yep. Let's go. Big one. Yep. Find your groove. Yes. Come on, Marty. Dig deep. Go. 2. Go. Got it. Got it. Spot. Be the motherfucker. Yep. Let's go. Yep. You sure we did 8 last night? Yes! Good! Good! Yes! All right, so throwing in an extra round here at the end. So we went 3 rounds full of both single legs right into the vertical leg press. I wanted to do a little bit more here because it was feeling so good. So I'm gonna do a drop set here. So we got 6 plates per side. What I'm gonna do is 10 to 12 reps. He's gonna take off 2 each side, 10 to 12 more reps. You're gonna take 2 more off, and then in the last round when there's 4 total, I'm gonna go super slow and controlled, press through. So slow eccentric, press through, and get as many as I can there to finish it off. So After this, we're done with pressing, and this should really finish this off right here. Holy shit. Second to last exercise here, we are doing some adductors. So we do this in every single leg session. If you haven't heard us talk about this, we love to stress the importance of adductors. The reason being, if you can build up the inside of your leg, it's going to make your legs look that much wider overall. So everyone's always trying to get the sweep, and obviously we work the sweep a lot in our quads. But what I think the hidden secret is try to build up your adductors as much as possible, because good adductors paired with great quads, paired with good sweep, is complete legs. So you want to get the complete leg, where it's wide, they're touching in the middle, and that's going to be the adductors. The only way to do that is by working them every leg session. So we don't show them that much on our videos, but we always do them. So I'm just telling you, showing you right now. What I want to say right now is it's our final set, we're doing a back off. I stole this one from Brandon Ray, he's a bodybuilder out at Gold's Gym Fitness. Follow him if you don't, because he's really good if you want to follow somebody that puts out a lot of the good content out there of good exercise ideas, way to make these things up, and very, very knowledgeable overall. But what we're doing here is we're doing a 5-second close. So I'm closing it very slowly and keeping it in adductors. So the whole time my adductors are loaded, I'm just creeping it forward the entire time. Once you hit the middle, you hold it for 3 seconds, then you release open. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, open. Do as many as those as you can, and honestly, you're only gonna probably do 8 to 10, and then hit reps, pump out, and you're fried after that. So throw this at the end of your workout, throw it at the end of your adductors, let us know what you think. Mama. So, last hamstring movement here, as you guys have seen in the past, it's usually an RDL. As we've talked about before, usually it's to keep the low back pump out of things. Now that we're getting a little bit leaner, the low back pumps are a lot less, but same kind of thing. We're gonna attack it full force here, last movement of the day, so we can really go all out and be done after this. So, a couple things here that we're doing. We're doing it in the pit shark. This is a great way to get the stretch, keep it in the hamstrings, and keep the movement very controlled. Also, as you can see here, we have Brett's feet, his toes elevated on some ramps. So what that does is this actually transfers more of the weight into the hamstring as you come down. So it's already increasing the stretch in your hamstring by elevating your toes, and by coming down, you're stretching the hamstring past where you normally do. That in turn makes you use the hamstring coming out of the bottom, less glute activation. Like I said, smashing hamstrings, really finish them off here, full isolation, and toasting ourselves, ready to go do it again. Come on, boy. Up, come on. Ooh. Up. Two. Yep. Ooh. I wasn't going to fight too hard like that. Whoa. Good. Good. I don't want to talk to you guys. I'm too tired for this. All right. Just got done with the hamstrings and we are toast. So, really good session overall. Well, the main thing was we brought a lot of new lifts to you. Even a couple new ones for us, especially there at the end. We threw up those platforms to make the hamstrings, the RDLs even harder. So that's something, you know, like I said, we're always adapting. We're always finding ways to confuse the body to make it grow. So by putting your feet up there like he explained, it's gonna create more stretch on the hamstrings. And that's the first time we went really heavy with something like that. And right now we're both feeling it. So that's kind of why we're pooped right now. But overall, really good session. We really like the I guess, a little bit more higher tempo pace there. You saw us doing the superset with the single leg presses and the vertical leg press, and that's something, you know, we traditionally do it, you know, in the off season stuff. So it's really good to mix it up, get the body confused, push, you know, muscular endurance and muscular, you know, overall just definition and leanness right now. And also through this, like we were talking about, those are about 4 new exercises we showed you that you can do on your own. So what do you think about today?
Yeah, guys, I mean, something to add to this is, you know, you don't see or you don't hear about Brett and I doing a lot of cardio and prep. And I think a big reason why is these kind of intense workouts. So you see that we're getting our heart rate up, we're breathing super heavy. I mean, I'm still sweating and still breathing heavy. It's been 5 minutes since my last set. So it tells you where our heart rate is this whole training session, and that kind of tells you a big reason why we're not doing a crazy amount of cardio to stay lean. Our main focus is intensity, and our main focus is holding on to as much muscle as we can, training as intense and as heavy as we can to hold on to this tissue. So something to take away there. Another thing is, guys, as you see Brett and I, we're going at each other, and we're fighting for the best spot, fighting for the PRs, all those kind of things. But you saw at the end, I went up and Brett went back and did a back off set. And you see that he did a triple drop set on the vertical leg press, and I didn't actually do that. So those were some things we were adapting to the way our body was responding to the lift. And because of those things, we decided to pull back or make that decision for our body. So it's something to take into account for yourself, is if it doesn't feel right, don't always push it. There's times to push it, there's times to be smart. Today we worked a little bit smarter, which smarter is harder, guys. Don't always take that as something where intensity and stuff and pushing to the point of injury, that's not smart. So be smarter, it is harder, and take everything that we did today, like, subscribe, put it in the comments what you want to continue to see, hear, and we'll see you next time.